I'm so emotional right now, but I want to document this. I'm on my way to bed. And just wow. Wow, 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 wow. I'm not going to cry. These are happy tears. These are happy tears. Today is finally coming to a close. I'm going to take some of my magnesium. Um, I have it. I have some herbal tea that I'm going to put it in. Then I'm going to just mosey on, get some beauty rest. I just finished bleaching the heck out of my space because I have I have a relative here temporarily as they are preparing to take a big leap forward. And I was able to say some inspiring words today, and I was able to do a live performance today. And I wasn't too sure whether it was going to even happen because it just was such a tumultuous, it was a tumultuous semester, let alone a tumultuous week. All of Tuesday, I sat in a professional's office with this relative of mine's. And I've been vlogging about it. But I not only see my growth, I feel my growth. I feel where I have healed at, and I'm very, very, very proud of me. And I accepted and trusted in the divine in ways I have never, ever, ever. Never, ever, ever have trusted in the divine as I am right now. And the divine totally showed up through me today in so many ways. In so many ways, the divine showed up through me. And I just wanted to document this because, like, when I was there, where I was invited to perform at, it felt surreal, but you already know how the day started. And it felt like nanner, 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 nanner. I was like, okay, am I in the Twilight Zone? Am I in the Twilight Zone? It just, and I have very few words. And for me to have very few words, it's pretty dynamic. I'm looking at my chlorophyll because I'm like, should I put my chlorophyll in here too? I think so. I think so. Got to keep the body strong and healthy so that I can continue to utilize these gifts that I have. And, I have work to do. I definitely have work to do. I have to hire a coach once I'm able to hire a coach. The more gigs I do, the more, I'll be able to hire a coach. Um, and it's so surreal. Like, I remember, like, when I was singing every week, singing every week, singing every week before the pandemic. And I started out, when I started profiting with the gift, um, was in the train station. I don't know, but if you look underneath my other, matter of fact, I'm gonna put the link in the description so you can see where I started and how I started. And every week. I was a full-time security officer at the time that was living out of a homeless shelter in New York City, and every week I would get dressed up and I would bring my Bluetooth speaker and I would bring my microphone. I would bring my phone, my regular phone because I was using my phone to get the instrumentals um, for the songs I was singing. And I would just go random places, and I would also have my Florida water. And I would take my Florida water and I would pray over the space. And I would stand in the center. I would like pour a circle, stand in the center of the space. I would put my box that carried my speaker in it. That was what I collected my money in. And it was always just wonderful. It was from the first day, and the first day was I didn't get to practice that day either. Um, the first day, I couldn't use it at the shelter, my speaker, so I just charged it, and then went into the train station in Queens, um, and said, "Okay, testing, testing." There was nobody even around. At least I thought. But somebody came from upstairs. I mean, from downstairs, from the platform. I was upstairs. And they came from the platform and they tossed up some money into the box. And I was just like, okay. And I rode, I believe, to Union Square. The video link that I'm going to put in here, I was at Union Square. Um, and I did that. I did that for um, a few months. And then I got some gumpture. I discovered a company called Afton, and I decided that I was going to sell tickets and like go on the stage and perform with other performers. And the ticket sale thing didn't go too well, but I remember traveling to that first performance. It was way out, and this was some months later. This is after that shelter situation and me finding my first place out here in Jersey. And this is all pre-pandemic, and like right before the pandemic, I had like sort of like a little flow going. I had performed for Afton like 3 times, and I was excited, even though I just was excited. I was excited. I was just excited just to be singing. And then the pandemic came, and like mostly everybody, I was like, no, 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 like what's going on in life? And I was simultaneously, before the pandemic hit, working on opening a cafe. I was like taking my time, doing the planning, getting the paperwork straight, and I was looking to open in Brooklyn, New York. And the rent was like, I want to say the rent was like 10K. Yeah, the rent was like 10K, but it was a wonderful space. I wonder if that space is still there, in Greenpoint. Wonderful space. And yeah, I was going through all the particulars of starting a business, and then the pandemic came and everything shut down. And my stubborn Taurus behind was like, I don't want to stop. So my friend at the time told me, well, why don't you look out there in Jersey? You're out there in Jersey. Why don't you look out there in Jersey? So I said, okay, fine. I look out here in Jersey, and I found the location, and the rent was only $2,500. And I said, oh, this is perfect. Like I was budgeting for 10K, and this is perfect. I could do this, but I still my first brick and mortar. There was still a lot of stuff that I needed to learn because I thought that I could be the one and only everything. And I brought my speaker in there and I was doing live music in there. And it was good for a couple of weeks. I laugh at it. It hurt really bad. I'm still litigating actually because unfortunately I rented from a hole who basically over the phone, everything was good because I guess my voice doesn't sound like a typical um, melanated person. And everything was done third party, and I, was communicative with the individual. And he was like, okay, I get it, I get, the pandemic and this, that, and the other. And the governor at the time of the state had issued something where businesses could still basically operate, and that, they couldn't be shut down um, for like falling behind in rent. But this guy came and saw that I was melanated and basically called me all type of N-words and, yelled at me and told me just leave, just give up, just walk away. You're not gonna make it. Da 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 da. Blah 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 blah. And I sat there calmly in my cafe as this man basically went off on me. And I explained to him, sir, The reason why you're even in a position to speak to me in that tone is because of all of the free labor. And I said it just as calmly as I'm saying it right now. All the free labor that my people did in this country. So please watch your tone. Oh, he got really upset then. He thought about it. And then he got really upset, like, how dare I? And he made a big, this was in Montclair, New Jersey. He made a big thing about it. I had to call the police on him. By the time the police got there, he was gone. Ultimately, he changed the locks on my store, took everything in there. I'm not going to go back to that time and space because here we are in the here and now, right? And here and now, as I am completing my degree, as I have met a whole new extended family, my La Familia, I got presented with the opportunity out of nowhere. Out of freaking nowhere, just walking at the right place at the right time and people seeing me perform. I got invited to perform and I had no idea that this thing was going to be so beautiful, but it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful and everybody was dressed so beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful. I didn't even get to say hi to everybody because I just was very, shocked. And she was very cool. She was very cool. She was very cool about it. The boss lady was very cool about it. She was like, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't, it's okay. It's all good, But, I got you on the program. And I knew, in my spirit, I was like, if I'm on the program, I got to do it. I got to do it. I gotta do it if I'm on the program, And I just finished sending the invoice. And I'm like, so I'm gonna be able to do all of the things that I love to do. And this is just the beginning. And I had the most fantastic wing girl ever. I finally got me a hype girl. And I wish I caught a video of it, but I know people did catch video of it. And I'm just looking forward to more gigs and sharing this gift and all of my gifts that God has put in me. It was definitely God coming through me, but I want to always remember that it's God working through me, even when I am professionally, because I'm not really professionally trained. Yeah, I did 2 semesters of music, but and that was just within these last 6 months. Prior to that, I had no training at all. I just love to do it. And I just did it and people enjoyed it, so I did it. But I am going to invest in some professional training and continue to be booked. So I guess this is turning into a commercial. I don't look commercial ready at all, do I? First of all, what am I tying up right now? Because y'all know I chopped off my hair, but it is growing back quite rapidly. So I have my scarf on and I'm just keeping it on, okay? But yeah, I'm gonna share that train station and full circle, and I be watching the graduates was amazing, and I'm just looking forward to being one, and then seeing my son, and then it's like, people, it's a really good space. I met a lady that's been there 30 years, and another lady, and I mean, like, these ladies look phenomenally young. Phenomenally young. Phenomenally young. Like, y'all been here for 30 years. What, ma'am? Phenomenally young. Both of these ladies look phenomenally young, and I'm gonna stick around. I'm gonna stick around. I'm gonna finish up my degrees. I'm gonna PT, FT, then adjunct, and then full on. But I wanna deal with the babies first. So I'm probably gonna be teaching before I go in there. Um, I think I could start paraprofessional next year. I'm pretty sure I can. I'm pretty sure I can because there's a big need for teachers. And everybody asks me, or time they see me, they be like, "Are you a teacher? Are you a teacher? Are you a teacher? Are you a teacher?" And I'm like, "What about me looks like a freaking teacher? What is it? What is it?" And mind you, my makeup is all jacked up. I call myself trying to wash it off. I can't even find my washcloth. Again, I had to just bleach everything because that relative of mine is like hawking up God knows what. But Mama's got the magic of Clorox. Yes, Clorox. Yeah, nobody say. They should have never told me that chlorine was in public pools. Because ever since I found out chlorine was in public pools, bleach is not harmful. Now, I would not ingest it. But use it around the house? Yep, sure is. Now, I spray everything down with that motherfucker. And yeah, spray. I put it in a bottle. I dilute it a bit. Not much, but a bit. Mm-hmm. Mm. I know how to kick a germ, but kick it right at it. Don't you come over here, germ. Don't you do it. Don't you. You're about to get kicked. You're about to get kicked, germ. Anyway, let me get off of here and get some rest because I have no idea what tomorrow's gonna unfold. But it's gonna be good, I'm sure. I mean, I have the details, and I don't need the details because I'm in the here and now, and I'm just grateful to have the space I have. I'm grateful to have the new La Familia. I'm grateful that my loved one actually is following through with their commitment to themselves because there was just no way for me to track them down because their device is not operable right now because it needs to be charged and they don't even know where their charger is. And that's divine right there. That's divinity right there. That is divinity right there. So I'm going to be a respite for a few days. I'm about to put back on um, some Michael Beckwith, some Reverend Michael Beckwith, so that I could sink into the subconscious, reactivate, so that their divinity can reignite. So as they go forward, they are going forward with their divinity in full ignition, and they realize what they're doing is just to train their physical body basically to make better choices. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm making sure I take care of myself. And I felt so grateful. I felt so grateful for my growth and grateful for the opportunity. And there was a few people who really tried to discourage me this past semester. Um, but I still have a lot of vigor and I still have a lot of vitality. And therefore, the challenges that have happened already and even the challenges that may be unfolding now, only allow my divinity to really show up, show up. You know that song by Mary Mary? It's the God in me. No, for real though. I can't take any credit, and I just want to continue sharing, continue growing, continue perfecting my gifts, continue sharing my gifts. But I always want to remember what it is through me that is shining. Know that it is the God in me. Know that it is my divinity. And remind others that they have divinity in them too. So, yes, you have to prepare. Yes, you have to plan. Yes, you have to set intentions. Yes, you got to do those things. But you also must acknowledge God. You must acknowledge that you have divinity inside of you. You must do that. You must do that. And when you do that, you see things a whole lot clearer. So, again, thank you for tuning into the SupaTea Podcast Show. Happy Saturday, everybody. Uh, what a wonderful time to be alive. I'm very full of gratitude. And I hope somebody got encouraged. Oh, and I'm going to put 3 links. 3 links. One is going to be the performance that I described earlier with me in the train station in Union Square. The second one is going to be some merch where you can grab hoodies. I should have put that in my email. You could grab hoodies. You can grab journals, hardcover journals. I feel like the museum is gonna order bunch of my stuff. I think they're just waiting. I feel like I don't know. I need to go and look in my back office and see. But anyway, and then the third link is going to be my ebook, and you get that download immediately. So, 3 links in the description. Thank you for tuning in to the Super Tea Podcast Show. Out.